Hi everybody, June here from Red Daisy Crafts. I'm a Stampin' Up! Independent demonstrator and from San Antonio, Texas, and I'm happy to be here today. I wanted to share with you all some of the ways that you can use this stamp set that came in the paper pumpkin for March, Memorable Meadows. So this stamp set is named Daisies for You, and I think it's really cute, but there's a lot of pieces to it. So what I'm calling layers to it, and I just wanted to kind of demonstrate how you would put the stamp together if you just wanted to use some of your ink pads and the stamps. So that's what we're going to play with in this little quick video, and I'm going to show you how I worked that out. So I am starting with an outline using basic gray, and we're going to just begin to stamp on our card piece. Also in this video, we will put together one alternate project for the paper pumpkin kit as well. So we're going to show the stamping, and then I'm going to put together an alternate card. So all right, let's just dive in. So I have our largest outline stamp, and I'm just going to use my basic gray to put on the lines. I thought about using black or what I would say the StazOn ink, but I just didn't want it to be that bold. And I am using a foam mat here because my table is not perfect in regard to, like, it's always perfectly flat in spaces, and so I want to make sure I can get the best image, and the foam mat really helps with that. So there we go. So there we have our basic lines. All right, and the next thing I'm going to use is we're going to start to build our flower. So I am using fresh freesia as the main color of the flower. Okay, so I have my fresh freesia here, and I have my stamps that are the flowers. Okay, and so I just know that they're going to line up perfectly on top of here. Now you can see that pretty good in the screen, but what I'm doing with this is putting the ink on, then I'm going to do a second generation. So I am lightening that up there. And so now, again, because I have my foam mat, I'm going to get a really, really good stamped image. So as you can see there, the foam mat makes a big difference, especially with the photopolymer stamps. And so now we have that part taken care of. The next thing we have is like a little but I'm calling it the middle of the flower, and it's going to just provide some accent detail. And I'm also going to use Berry Burst for this. So I want it to be a little bit darker in that area. And so we are just going to we're going to stamp off. So I'm also going to do second generation here, but as you can see, I'm just lining up the centers and then pressing down. And again, because of the foam mat, I'm going to get a really, really good stamp image. So you can see there how great that is. So that is what are we at our lining. We filled in our flower. Now we have our middle sprigs coming up out of the center of the flower, and then we have the center of the flower. Now for that, I'm going to use Highland Heather, just because it's a little darker, but it's also just a tad bit of a different color. Now I could put a yellow center on there, and I guess, you know what, let's try it. We're just going to go for it. I have out here Lemon Lolly, and I don't have my Daffodil Delight handy. I do have wheat. What's it called? Wild wheat. I just wonder if that would be better. So yeah, let's use wild wheat because I think it's better and we can stamp off. All right, so we're just gonna stamp up our centers, and I'm just doing a little stamp off there, lining it up, and then stamping down. So now we have the yellow center of our flower. Okay. Now, I will tell you, how did I get these lined up? I basically, I'm going to just, so I don't get my fingers all inky, I want to show you, but I literally just came over here and lined them up on my flower when it was stamped, and so that I could do them at the same time. And then I just put them onto my block piece, just like so. So if you haven't done that, that is a little trick for you today. And then, so we won't be needing the lemon lolly. All right, then for my leaves, we're using garden green, okay? And so to fill them in, here we go. To fill them in, again, we're doing a lot of second generation stamping here. So I am just lining that up and pressing down. Again, just, you know, really, really nice image that we're getting because the stamp mat really helps a lot. So I actually need this again because we're going to do full strength the little veins in the leaves. So that's going to go here, and we're just really lining them up with the vein that's on the leaf already. So you'll see here once I pull away. So there you have it. So you're just lining it up with the lines already on the flower. So there is our stamped image. So our flower was the lining, the filling of the flower, the middle, and the center. And then the leaf just has the filling and then the veins of it. Now, there is in the stamp set a really cool little splatter image. And so we are going to use Gorgeous Grape for this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to continually rotate this image in my hand. And for me, I like to go to the right with it. Or sorry, I guess I'm going to the left with it. And that just changes the placing of it, you know, whenever I'm moving it around. So it doesn't look like it's very routine by any means. So there's our stamped image. Okay. And so I'm going to get our ink out of the way very quickly here. And I wanted to just show you a couple other designs that I played with. So this one, as you can tell, is very similar to the one we just did. It's just a little stronger. And I actually used Gorgeous Grape for the lining of the flower image. And then the stamping off is not as heavy. So I did more of a tap as like a full stamp to remove some of the ink. So as you can see, those are very similar, but just slightly different. And this one has the berry burst in the center as well, as opposed to having the yellow, which I actually am loving that. All right. Then I did this one. Again, the stemming, the lining of the image is done with garden green, as you can see there. And I did try the wild wheat onto the leaves, if you can see a little bit there, but I didn't like it. And then this is what made me get the stamp mat out, because you can see here that I did not get a good image stamping. But this is Highland Heather stamped off. It's really dark. I never really thought of Highland Heather being that dark, but it's pretty dark. And then the center is gorgeous grape. And then the sprinkles, or the little splatter I did with Berry Burst. But as you can see, you could change this up tons of ways. So all it takes is having some different stamp pads, and which if you've been a Paper Pumpkin subscriber for a while, you have many colors to work with, for you to just change up what the look looks like. So we are using this to create our alternate card today, and I have all the little pieces here all ready to go. So we will be quick about it. And then you can, of course, ask me any questions in the comments since this is a recording. But I wanted to post this on Easter Sunday, and it just didn't feel right to be going live on Easter. That just didn't seem right. It's day for families. So, all right. So we have our internal piece, and I am going to get the. I think that was Gorgeous Grape that I used, but let's do a little splattering on this on the inside. Just maybe up one side. Ooh, that was a boo-boo. That was a boo-boo, making a mess like that, because I don't want to get my fingers all in that. Let's see if I've gotten that cleaned up for the most part. I think I have. I just have one finger here that's got, not too bad, not too bad. All right, so let's just try that again. There we go. And like I said, I just like to turn it a little bit just to get a little bit of a different thing happening, so it doesn't look all routine. Okay, so I'll put that aside, and I'm going to get my glue here, which I think it's going to need a little help today because my big stopper that I had down here is gone. So let's see if we can get the glue going. Yep, we got it. All right, so I want to make sure I'm in the screen here. So I'm going to scoot this up just a bit. So that's our inside, so that we can write a message, or if we have another sentiment you want to include, that would be great. And we're keeping it pretty simple. I just opened up one of the envelopes with this beautiful cloud imagery. And we are using that as our first layer on our card base. This card base is Highland Heather, and it is 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. And this layer here is 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. So that's our piece there. Now we are going to layer our stamp piece on the Highland Heather piece here. And I'll give you some measurements on these two items, but let me just put this down really quick here, just like so. And I think I had decided not to put any real sentiment on here. I was just keeping it simple. So this is 3 inches, and I'm going to guess by 4. Yeah, 3 by 4, which means the Highland Heather piece is 3 1/4 by 4 1/4 that I use to layer it on. And then this is going to go right on top of here, like so, keeping this a very simple card. We're not even going to really put anything on dimensionals. I've gotten to where I'm pretty sensitive about that because of mailing. I want my cards to get where I want them to go, and I don't want them to get stopped. It's so frustrating, right? Yeah, I could put on the inside of here, "You've been on my mind." That would be a great sentiment to put on the inside of here. So I think I'll just keep that in my mind for that. And then I was thinking that we had still some sequin left from the kit to be able to add a few sequin on here. Those don't seem to bother the mail process that much. So just going to add a few of these here and then put another one down here. And so there is our fourth alternate, or this would be our fifth or alternate for the Memorable Meadows kit. And I just think it came out really, really beautiful. Very light and airy, perfect for spring. And so there you have it. I hope that you enjoyed trying out those stamps and getting to play around with the Daisy for You stamp set, and that you will get that out and put it to some fun use. This would be gorgeous, to be honest. It'd be gorgeous to have a whole page of them at the bottom of a scrapbook page if you're a scrapbooker. So if you garden and you like to take pictures of your progress, that would be beautiful. So, all right, everybody, happy Easter. And I hope that you will come back next Sunday when I'm live again for Think Creatively. And I just wish you all a blessed Easter Sunday.